feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
All right, y'all. We are here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3. I guess I should move over to my quarter like we do in filmmaking. But anyway, hey, it's Talk Your Team Tuesday. It's not a great day for your boy. Still not feeling 100. If you notice, I'm losing a bunch of weight and everything like that for all the wrong reasons. But anyway, still battling this walking pneumonia and bronchitis and stuff. Doctor says, don't worry, it's still within the time frame of normal, how long it takes to get it going. So, hey, Keith, yeah, I'm man, I keep saying I'm about 75%, but I can't get in that 80 percentile range yet, man. I can't get there yet. So I'm not fighting it anymore, man. I'm going to get off of here. It'll be a fast break edition. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to take my more meds, and I'm going to just sit still and you know, just not move around. It's supposed to be some bad weather in Houston today, so I'm not going to be out in that. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. So Talk Your Team Tuesday, man, the division round of the playoffs. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Some teams came to play, some teams not so much. And you'll see from the quarterback power rankings that it really boiled down to the quarterback play this past weekend. Some quarterbacks were expected to play better. They didn't. Some quarterbacks weren't expected to play as well as they did. They did. And now we're down to the Final Four. We're down to the championship in the NFC and the AFC. But let's look at this past weekend, man. Let's look at what happened this past weekend in the divisional round of the playoffs. In the early game, it was Kansas City getting it done against a very game Jacksonville team. But at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes was able to make enough plays, and the defense was able to keep Jacksonville out of the end zone when it mattered the most. And here we are, 27-20, with Jacksonville getting the win in spite of Patrick Mahomes suffering a high ankle sprain, having to leave the game for part of the time. His backup quarterback, Chad Henne, came in and led them on an effective drive, got points out of that. But at the end of the day, it was too much Kansas City. Total yards, it was a very evenly matched game, 362 to 349 for Jacksonville. First downs, 23 for Kansas City, 20 for Jacksonville. You know, passing yards was a yard apart, 218 for Kansas City, 217 for Jacksonville. But it came down to sacks and stuff like that. They did not get to Patrick Mahomes. KC's defense got to Trevor Lawrence twice. Turnovers, 2 of them by Jacksonville, 1 of them on an interception, the other one on a fumble. And Kansas City, the team that I told y'all was going to be the best team in the AFC, is who we thought they were. It's not Buffalo. Everybody said it was going to be Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo this, Buffalo that. Buffalo fizzled out. And ended up getting eliminated from the playoffs by a Cincinnati team on Sunday that told the NFL, pooch you and your pre-sale tickets for the neutral site game between Kansas City and Buffalo. And let me just tell you this, that game was never in question. Cincinnati beat Buffalo 27-10 and had everybody upset at their wide receiver after the game. And I got news for you. It was not the wide receiver's fault. Everybody got mad after the game at Stephon Diggs. He got targeted 10 times. He only had 4 catches for 35 yards. And after the game, he was holding his arms up like, what in the world? What in the world? I'm going to show you in the next segment what he was talking about. Everybody hates it when a guy like Stephon Diggs or some of the other wide receivers have passion and get upset on the sidelines. But when Tom Brady cussed out multiple offensive coordinators, you got Mac Jones running around here cussing offensive coordinators out and waving people off on the sideline. That's compassion. That's excitement. They just want to win. Stephon Diggs wants to win too. And I don't know if it was the offensive coordinator. I don't know if it was the head coach. I do know how the quarterback played. Excuse me. I do know how the quarterback played. And I'm sorry, Bills Mafia, normally y'all are 100% on it, but y'all are mad at the wrong person this time. And I get it. Y'all love Josh Allen. You should. Y'all have developed Josh Allen. That's great. Nobody is a bigger Josh Allen fan than me right now because I heard what the Bill Polians of the world had to say about him, and I see who he is now. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, period. Bar none, no exceptions. But even the best of the best play poorly at the most inopportune times. And I don't know if it was the Cincinnati defense. Big shout out to DJ Reader. I don't know what it was, but they just got Josh Allen in a position where he could not get comfortable, could not make big plays, could not get the ball to his playmakers, and they lost. And it wasn't close. It wasn't a bad call. Don't let me hear you talking about holding and PI that didn't get called and all that. They got dog walked. Buffalo, you got to figure out why your team on paper is one of the best teams in the league. But come time for them to put up or shut up, for the last 2 years, they have not been able to come through. Last year, remember, it was because they didn't get the ball again in overtime. Well, they didn't do what they needed to do in overtime to get the ball back. This year, they got dog walked. And Bills Mafia, I love y'all. Y'all are one of the greatest fan bases around. And I mean, bar none, any sport. But y'all are misguided on your being upset and who you're upset with this time around. It is a group effort, but your quarterback did not help you out. All right, let me take my first break. I'm getting choked up, man. I got a lot of congestion going on still. Again, don't ask me. It's not COVID. I've taken multiple tests, just not feeling 100. But I'll feel better after this break right here on the lunch break, powered by Jones Media and Entertainment, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Man Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Woo! Okay, back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E. Those folks right there, BS3 TV, got great shows on the network. Only way for you to find out is download it if you've got a Roku streaming device. I got to upgrade my Roku streaming device. I just got another notification that they're not going to update my version of the Roku streamer. So I got to, anybody feeling benevolent, shoot me out the latest Roku streaming device so I can check myself out on TV and all the great shows on BS3 TV. If you don't have a Roku streaming device, you're not left out. All you got to do is go to the website, www.bs3network.com, www.bs3network.com. You can check it all out. All right. Hey, Erica Kenyatta. Let me finish the NFL stuff, and then I'll come back and I'll give y'all this week's standings on the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge playoff. Excuse me, playoff edition, the division round playoff edition, and we'll get that out. And then let me get on out of the way. Again, not a good day. I think it's because of the weather change we got going on here in Houston today. A cold front and rain, possibly even tornadoes coming through our area. So y'all be safe out there if you are in the path of these storms that will supposedly be moving across the country. All right, so we just did the AFC side. On the AFC side, Cincinnati, Joe Burrow said it best. NFL gonna have to issue out some refunds. NFL's gonna have to issue out some refunds for that doggone Buffalo Kansas City game. And Kansas City, all eyes are on the training room for Kansas City. Is Patrick Mahomes going to be able to play in the AFC Championship game with Kansas City and Buffalo? Kansas City and Cincinnati. Cincinnati is the favorite in that game because they have beaten Kansas City the last 3 times that they played. Cincinnati has beaten Kansas City the last 3 times that they played. In fact, last year they beat them in the AFC Championship game to advance to the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens this year, especially if Patrick Mahomes cannot play. Okay? All right, let's go to the NFC side. Excuse me. Excuse me. I knew it was coming, so that's why I said excuse me early. I'm telling you, crazy day, health-wise. NFC Championship game. In the early game, on Saturday, that night, it was Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. First game in the playoffs this year. They got a bye from the first round. Thank you, Keith. They got a bye from the first round. And Jalen Hurts did not disappoint. Jalen Hurts, sore shoulder, can't play quarterback, running back playing quarterback. All he did is come out and ball out, responsible for 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no turnovers, and he led his team to a dog walk victory over the New York Giants. Final score in that one was 38-7. And anybody that doesn't believe in Philly, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else they've got to do for you to realize this team is legit and they will beat the brakes off of you whether you believe in them or not. Let who they got to play come in and think, oh, we ain't got to believe in Jalen. We ain't got to believe in Philly. The head coach is a joke. They're going to beat the brakes off you, put a leash on you, and dog walk your butt to the park. I love what Philadelphia is doing. But again, as we saw from last week to this week, teams can dominate last week and not do so good in the current week. But, man, big shout out to Philly. I will make my predictions for this week before we get off the air. Got about 15 more minutes, fast break edition. But, again, big win for Philadelphia over the Giants, 38-7. Oh, yeah, by the way, New York Giants, give give Daniel Jones a contract extension. I'm not going to call him Danny Dimes. That's dumb. Whoever came up with that, dumb. But Daniel Jones does deserve a contract extension with the Giants. They're building something there. I got to give Diebold credit. They are building something there. They look better. Where's Todd Malcolm at? Where's Todd at? You know, Todd done flipped to the other side. I think Todd got a MAGA hat somewhere and a T-shirt, been to a rally or something. But Todd, this is what you tried to tell me Joe Judge was doing with the Giants. Joe Judge couldn't get it done. Diebold is getting it done. They need to bring everybody back, run it back, re-sign Saquon Barkley, sign Daniel Jones. You know, maybe see if you can't get Stephon Diggs. If they don't want him in Buffalo, it ain't a long drive down to the Giants. Get him. Ball out. Giants going to be a problem next year. Giants will be a problem next year. You heard me say it here first. All right, so that was that. And then in the other NFC game, it was San Francisco doing what I didn't think they could do, and that was beat Dallas. I thought Dallas's defense was going to give Brock Purdy so much confusion, and they did it in the first quarter. They did it for pretty much the second quarter, but then the adjustments in the third and fourth quarter, and I got to say it. Yeah, you heard me say it first. Dak Prescott did not get it done. Dak did not get it done. Dak turned the ball over at the wrong times. I am not rocking with Cooper Rush. And Cowboy fans, I'll say it again. If y'all want Cooper Rush, stop playing. Cut Dak. Cut him. You're going to have to pay him one way or another. You gave him a guaranteed contract. Cut him and go all in on Cooper Rush, man. You can tell who ain't no poker player, because a real poker player say all in when they know they got a hand. Snowman, I'm not going to take any calls today because I'm trying to get in and get out. But let's queue it up for tomorrow. In fact, if you got time tomorrow, Snowman, will you be a guest on the show? I'll inbox you. But if you got time tomorrow, see if you and Cole can join me tomorrow, please. So anyway, Dak blew it. But I'm not going to put it all on Dak. It hurt when Tony Pollard got hurt. Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott together provide something that a lot of teams can't handle. Ezekiel by himself, different. Tony by himself, different. Together, they got something that you got to worry about. When Tony Pollard went down, bam, difference. Dallas is a different team when they cannot run the ball. San Francisco is legit. They played enough smart, good common sense football, and the young quarterback did not make any major mistakes. Therefore, they have advanced to the NFC Championship game in Philadelphia, and I got to tell you, that's going to be one hell of a game. So when I come back, I'll give you my predictions from the championship games, and then we'll do the quarterback power rankings, and then I will close out with the standings for the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge, $500 playoff round. We'll do that when I come back right here on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and the Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan can sense
the throw, just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes, the coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Gold Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
All right, trying to multitask. I just, somebody I really believe in their work, you made a request for some support for a movie that they're shooting, a horror movie. I gotta tell you, I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I've seen this person's work, and I know that they can put together great ideas. So if I got any micro investors out there, I got some people out there who might want to put up, a couple $1,000s to help a really good project get going. Y'all get at me. Y'all know how to reach me. 832-403-5005, 832-403-5005, or you can email me, aj@jonesmediaandent.com. See, one thing about me, it ain't all about funding my projects. When I see good people who do good work, who need a little help, baby, I'll drop what I'm doing and make sure that they get the help that they need. So Keith Hennick, get at me. Erica with a K, get at me. Big Mike, holla at me. Dr. Sharifa Barksdale, get at me. Because again, I feel like blessings come when you are a blessing. I ain't trying to preach a sermon. Blessings come when you are a blessing. Yeah. Keith, I don't know if I agree with you. I don't know if I agree with you. Dak is a real NFL championship quarterback. I really believe that. But again, things outside of the quarterback's control happens. And I'm not just saying that to cut for Dak. I'll say that with, for any other quarterback in the game, including yours down there. When your line is shaken up, when your running game is suspect, man, you just can't do everything. It takes a transcendental quarterback, like a Michael Vick, a Tom Brady. There's certain guys that can just take over a game. Is Dak that? No, he's not that. But who is? I mean, out of the quarterbacks that are still in the game, I'll say that. In fact, let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick, Keith. Let me do this real quick. Here was the quarterback play. This weekend. Number one rated quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Quarterback rating 112.5, completed 73% of his passes with a high ankle sprain. Number two was Jalen Hurts, 112.2, completed 67% of his pass, dog walked the Giants, 3 touchdowns. He was responsible, 2 in the air, 1 with his legs. Again, can take over a game. Joe Burrow can take over a game, but not the way that those other 2 can. And we saw that, 101.9, completed only 64% of his pass. That's low for Joe. Brock Purdy takes over by not making mistakes. Look at his passer rating. That is nothing to write. That's literally below league average, 87.4, and he only completed 66% of his passes. But the running game was solid. The defense was solid. Man, I got to tell you, DeMeco Ryans is a defensive master. That's new school, done came in, found a way to teach the positions, and it is working because that San Francisco defense is the best of the best because of DeMeco Ryans and the players. And DeMeco, do not come to Houston. Do not let your heart lead you to this organization as long as Cal McNair and his family owns it, and as long as Nick Caserio is running it. That's a part B. All right, so 1, Patrick Mahomes, 2, Jalen Hurts, 3, Joe Burrow, 4, Brock Purdy. Now look at the quarterbacks that lost and look at their passer ratings. Trevor Lawrence, 74.4, only completed 62% of his passes. Josh Allen, the quarterback everybody loves in Bills Mafia, the quarterback everybody's cutting for and getting mad at his wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, 68.1 passer rating, 60% of his passes. And I'm sorry, it was 59.5. We rounded up. Josh Allen did not play well enough to get the win on Sunday. You cannot give quarterbacks credit for playoff wins and then don't give them credit for playoff losses. Josh Allen did not play well enough to win that game, and Stephon Diggs had all the right in the world to challenge his brother and say, yo, man, what we doing? Dak Prescott, look at that, 63.6. He wasn't far off from Josh Allen. He completed more of his passes, but those 2 interceptions were costly, and he could not make the necessary plays. And again, Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore melted down when they needed him the most. All right, Daniel Jones, again, passer rating 53.8, completed only 56%. What do you see in common? What do you see in common with these quarterbacks? Nobody completed more than 62% of their passes, and they lost. Look back at the winners. Look back at the winners. Everybody was 64 or better. Everybody was 87% or better in a passer rating. And everybody after them well off of that, not even 75% after them. Quarterback play in the playoffs matters. Quarterback play in the playoffs matter. And these quarterbacks did not get it done. Did not get it done. All right, I got 4 minutes. Let me go ahead and give you my picks, and then let me go ahead and give you the standings in the Lunch Break Weekly, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. All right, so for the NFC Championship game, the early game, I'm sorry, I've got the Eagles over the 49ers in a close one. 3 points or less. 3 points or less for me. Eagles over the 49ers. Again, that Eagles defense is going to throw some wrinkles at Brock Purdy, but I know that the 49ers are going to make some good adjustments, and their defense is going to come ready to play. I'm going with the experience over the rookie. I'm sorry, I am. In the late game, Chiefs and Bengals, I'm going Kansas City. Kansas City, for them, it's personal. Kansas City, for them, they have lost their last 3 to Cincinnati. They're not going to lose 4 in a row. They're not going to lose 4 in a row. That's if Patrick Mahomes plays. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't play Cincinnati all day. If Patrick Mahomes plays Kansas City, he's going to find a way to get his team that win. So I've got Kansas City and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. That's me. That's me. Again, final score for that Kansas City Bengals game, I got it 27-24. 27-24 Kansas City. 27-24 Kansas City. All right, let me give you the current standings in the Lunch Break Weekly, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. This past week, the person that was perfect for the second week in a row, Miss Pearl, 4 out of 4. Also perfect this week were the two fellas. Emmanuel, 4 out of 4. Al High, 4 out of 4. So it came down to the tiebreaker. Al High, you didn't give us a final score, so you are automatically at the bottom of the perfect score. Don't forget to give me the exact final score of both teams. Emmanuel had the final score 38-29. Miss Pearl had the final score 27-20. She was the winner because she was closest. So now, here are the standings after the division round of the Lunch Break Weekly, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. At number 1, Miss Pearl, with a total of 10 wins. She was perfect in the first round, perfect in the second round. She is at number 1. At number 2, by virtue of all the tiebreakers, Erica with 9 wins. At number 3, it is Amber with 9 wins. At number 4, it is Alexis with 9 wins. At number 5, it is Emmanuel. And Emmanuel, your being off as much as you were from this week really hurt you in the standings. He is at number 5. And at number 6, Al High. But again, 1 point separates 6 from 1. 1 win separates 6 from 1. So everybody pick well this weekend. I have got to have your picks this weekend by Sunday at 1 p.m. Central. 1 p.m. Central. Got to have your final picks for Emmanuel, Al High, Erica with a K, Alexis, Amber, and Miss Pearl, who is leading the pack. Right now, if it ended today, I'd be having to cut a check for Miss Pearl, send her $500. That's what I would have to do. Come on, Miss Pearl, over there in Mississippi, getting it done. I love it. Miss Pearl called me and she said, AJ, don't say I'm in Alabama. She said, my family in Alabama don't get along with me. I'm in Mississippi. Even told me where she was in Mississippi. Y'all know about Laurel, Mississippi? That's where Miss Pearl is. Hey, Miss Pearl, I got it right this time. And she is an HBCU grad. Bless her heart. Speaking of HBCUs, I'm giving love to Bethune-Cookman today. I'm not. I see it on Ed Reed's side. I see it on the kids' side, the student side. Heard an interview with Roland Martin and the interim president of the university. And Doc, I get what you're saying, but ooh, you said some cringy stuff. In fact, I'm gonna try and get Coach Cole on before the end of the week, and we'll talk about what's going on down at Bethune-Cookman. But I'm HBCU proud. I didn't graduate from an HBCU. I give money to Xavier University in New Orleans. I give money to Southern University in Baton Rouge, and I do it on a regular basis. I don't even have to think about it. It's automatic. So hear me when I say I am pro HBCU, but I'm not for covering up problems, and I'm not for supporting craziness. That's all I got to say. We'll get Coach on. We'll talk about it. All right, let me get ready to get out of here. Again, number 1 this week, Miss Pearl. Number 2, Emmanuel. Number 3, Al High. Number 4, I think was, hold on, let me go back. Number 4 was Amber. Number 5 was Alexis. And number 6 was Erica with a K. But in the final standings, after 2 rounds, Miss Pearl is number 1. Erica with a K is number 2. Amber is number 3. Alexis is number 4. Number 5 is Emmanuel. And number 6 is Al High. But everybody has a chance to win $500 cash. So, as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There's nothing you can do about it except feel better, be nice to one another, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for Winning Wednesday. Y'all take care.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Number 1, mass violence does not observe holidays, and that includes the Chinese Lunar New Year. According to the Gun Violence Archive, more than 30 mass shootings have taken place in less than the first 30 days of the new year. Monterey Park, California was the site of a deadly massacre. 11 people were killed at the Star Ballroom Dance Studio Saturday night. Several others were wounded during the attack in one of the country's largest Asian communities. Almost 2,000 miles away, 12 people were wounded in a gun attack at a nightclub in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. According to Baton Rouge police, this early Sunday morning attack at the Dior Bar and Lounge was targeted. Police did not say how many of the people shot were targeted. Number 2, Black Americans have long articulated a clear vision for the kind of social change that would improve their lives. However, there are key findings from Pew Research Center surveys that explore Black Americans' views about how to overcome racial inequality. Most Black adults see voting as extremely or very effective strategy for helping Black people move towards equality, but fewer than half say the same about protesting. Black Americans say Black Lives Matter has done the most to help Black people in recent years, and clear majorities of Black adults say people of other races or ethnicities could make good political allies for Black people. For the rest of this Pew research, please go to the What You Need to Know newsletter, or better yet, subscribe at SybilWilkes.com. Number 3, a trial judge was correct to dismiss a lawsuit filed by then University of North Carolina students seeking tuition, housing, and fee refunds when in-person instruction was canceled during the 2020 spring semester as the coronavirus pandemic began. The State Court of Appeals made this ruling Tuesday. Several students at UNC system campuses and a parent who paid to enroll her daughter contend they deserve prorated reimbursements when system campuses were shuttered in March of 2020 and instruction was transferred online. The General Assembly passed a law in 2020 that gave public and private colleges immunity from pandemic-related legal claims for tuition and fees for acts occurring after a COVID-19 emergency was announced until June 1st of that year. Number 4, new allegations were added Tuesday to a federal lawsuit against the Effingham County School District in southeast Georgia, alleging retaliation by the district against a Black student for reporting racist and threatening Snapchat messages sent by white students. The Black student alleged that after he reported the messages and then transferred out of the school district, that they withheld his transcripts for months, changed grades from A's to C to drop his GPA, and added disciplinary infractions to his impeccable record. Number 5, our tax expert, Katrina M. Kraft, has a list of reasons why you should file your taxes, including the obvious of getting your refund early. But did you know it can help with protecting against ID theft? Because if thieves can beat you to the filing window, they try to steal your withholdings. So if your identity is stolen or vendor sites you use are breached, you may wish to take this route. Get it done. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. You have the power to make the life that you want. Be open and creative. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian extraordinaire, that's right, Damon Williams is back, and political contributor Cameron Riley as we discuss today's top headlines and more. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.